and welcome back to Top Cheddar Sports. I am sad, as I mentioned last video, because I'm here all alone today, and there's not going to be any surprise entrances from Spencer or Victor or anyone. It's just me. It is Wednesday. It is NHL Wednesday. I'm here standing behind our nice, lovely cold beer flag. And I am here to bring you some NHL talk. So what we're going to do the rest of the summer, since most of the big signings are done at this point, we're going to be going division by division, team by team. I'm going to be breaking down the biggest pieces they brought in, and then kind of giving an outlook as to where I think they'll finish within their own division. Will they make the playoffs, stuff like that, and some players maybe to look for or things to look for from them in this coming NHL season. So as you can tell by the jersey, we're going to start with the Metropolitan Division, and specifically we're going to be focusing on the three New York teams today. So we're going to start with the New Jersey Devils, who play in Newark, which is about 30 minutes from experience from New York City. So basically New York, I'm going to lump them in here. So the New Jersey Devils obviously had the first pick in the draft this year. They get Jack Hughes, who I think will make an immediate impact for this team. Definitely the best player in the draft in my opinion, and I think he's really just going to thrive this year, especially playing alongside probably Taylor Hall. We'll see how the lines shake out, but I like that. The Devils also made a trade and brought in PK Subban in the biggest trade of the offseason. So not only did they get the first pick in the draft, but they made the biggest trade acquisition. So I really like the way the Devils are going right now. Subban, much needed help on the blue line. They are able to sign Jesper Boquist to a contract. He was a highly touted young free agent forward. So we'll see. I would assume he'll make the big league squad right out of the gates there. But we'll have to see with that. And then the other notable signing the Devils made is they brought in Wayne Simmons on a one-year kind of prove-it contract, which I also really like because, I mean, Wayne Train still has some coal in the engine room, right? I don't know. Anyways, the Devils I would say are definitely trending up. My prediction for them this year would be a fringe wild card team, but ultimately I think they'll finish outside of the playoff picture. I would put them around 9th or 10th in the Eastern Conference, and around probably 4th or 5th in the Metro. I don't think the Metro is going to have very many playoff teams. In fact, I think the Metro might only have the 3 playoff teams that every division gets. I really don't see the Metro being very strong. That's not to say that these teams aren't, on the up, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be as strong as last year, that's for sure. But so that's my prediction for the Devils. My biggest concern with them would be their goaltending coming into this year, which they haven't really addressed. But again, I mean, they are doing a great job of filling in their other needs, and I think they will be a vastly improved team. Vastly improved. Let's switch it over to the New York Rangers, who had the 2nd overall pick. They get Kaku, who I think will step right in and make an immediate impact, much like Jack Hughes. Kaku's bigger body, not as fast as Hughes, kind of plays a different style, but I both of their styles are going to fit in just fine in the league, and they're both going to have really good seasons. It's going to be interesting to see who wins Rookie of the Year. I would still probably say Jack Hughes, but both are going to put up a good case. The New York Rangers, while the Devils made the biggest trade of the summer so far, the Rangers made the biggest signing of the summer, signing Artemi Panarin to a huge contract. So they lock him up for 7 years, obviously immediately improving their offense. While I do think he's overpaid, the Rangers can kind of afford to do that right now, and they certainly needed it. The Rangers also made a trade for the Carolina Hurricanes to get defenseman Adam Fox, who was a former Hobie Baker winner in college. Really smooth skating defenseman, really good player. He's been bouncing around. He was originally drafted by the Flames, then he wouldn't sign there, so the Flames trade him to the Hurricanes as part of that Dougie Hamilton trade last summer, which was the biggest trade of the summer last year. He then didn't want to sign with the Hurricanes either, so now the Hurricanes deal him to the Rangers, where he did sign. So we'll finally get to see Adam Fox play some NHL hockey this year. Um, I think he's going to be really good. I really do. He reminds me a lot of Seth Jones in his style of play. So that's good there. Speaking of bolstering their blue line, they traded for Jacob Trouba from the Winnipeg Jets, and they add him to their blue line. Um, so the Rangers, they add some good pieces. They're still in a rebuild. They still need to sign Pavel Buchnevich to a contract and Anthony DeAngelo. They're both currently still free agents. I'd like to see them bring both back, but we'll kind of see what happens there. But the Rangers, definitely, much like the Devils, also trending up. But they're not going to be a playoff team either. I put the Rangers. I'd put the Rangers around 7th or 8th in the division this year. It's going to be the Metro's going to be tight, I think. I don't think many points are going to separate 8th from even like 4th. But none of the teams, like I mentioned, I really only see them getting 3 teams in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be very good. So Rangers, I also have outside of the playoffs. But, I mean, they're definitely on the upswing. It's a shame that they have to be in the middle of this rebuild while they still have Henrik Lundqvist. Although, obviously, they're trying to speed it up, and I think they will. But they're not going to be a contender again by the time his career is over. So we'll see with Henrik. That'd be my thing to watch with the Rangers this year. Do they trade Henrik Lundqvist to a contender at the deadline? He's been adamant that he likes it in New York and he doesn't really care about that and he wants to stay with the team. But I think if given the opportunity to be traded to a legitimate contender and maybe finally win a cup before his career ends, would entice him. And I think that could be something that happens here. And the last team we're going to focus on is the New York Islanders, the shock of the year last year, debatably. Barry Trotz worked wonders for this team and much deservedly got that Coach of the Year award. So what the Islanders do? Well, they lost Robin Lehner. They replaced him with Semyon Varlamov. I don't like that necessarily. Varlamov obviously more consistent in his career, but Lehner, I think finally lived up to his potential that I wanted to see him live up to in Ottawa, but he never did. And I think Lehner is going to be solid for a while now. I think he finally realized his potential and he's going to stay right here and he's not going to falter. Whereas Varlamov has been consistent, but he's also much worse. We'll see. I don't know. Islanders also did a good job keeping most of their core intact. They re-signed Brock Nelson for 6 years. Jordan Eberle they re-signed, and Anders Lee, their captain, they got for 7 years. So they bring back those 3. It's going to be mostly the same team, aside from a couple little depth pieces and obviously the goaltending situation. Michael Dalcali, they still need to re-sign, and Anthony Beauvillier is also still a free agent. I'd like to see them bring those 2 back, although they are kind of running into a little bit of cap issues. So we'll see. But ultimately, I think the Islanders are actually trending down. I don't see them being as good as they were this past year. And I know we all doubted them last year, and look what happened. So, call me an idiot for doubting them this year, and I might be. But I see them trending down. That said, I do think the Islanders will finish in the top 3 in this division. I have them at 3rd, and I think they'll be a playoff team. They'll be right around 3-4. Them and the Devils kind of both going to be in that 3-4 range, I think. It's just going to be a tight division. It really is. But I'm not going to shy away from making predictions. So I will say the Islanders will finish 3rd. They'll make the playoffs, but they're still trending down. I don't see them having as deep a playoff run, and I don't see them really being as dominant during the regular season this year. But hey, time will tell. So next week, we'll talk about 3 more teams in the Metro, and then the week after that, we'll finish with the last 2. Not sure exactly what order. It'll be a surprise, but I'll let you guys know next week. And that'll do it for this second ever edition, just me, for NHL Wednesday, and first of many upcoming here, unfortunately. Hopefully this wasn't too boring. I miss Spencer too. But thank you for tuning in. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think these three teams are going to do. Let me know who Devils, Rangers, and Islanders fans. Let me know what you're most excited for coming into this season. Feel free to bash me for what I said about your team. And smash that subscribe button. And I will see you next Wednesday. I will see you next Wednesday. Tune in tomorrow. Victor will tackle the NFL for you.